Today we'll be taking a look at a best of 3 series of professional StarCraft 2. Starting things off today, map number 1, which is giving people so much difficulty in pronunciation. I think it's starting to rival the Great Worcestershire sauce. It is Alcyone, Alcyone, Alcyon, Alcyone. I'm just going to go with Al. Welcome to Al, guys. The Red Terran here in the upper right, the current reigning world champion. It is Oliveira. And their Terran opponent, the blue SCVs, landing here in the bottom left, none other than GuMiho. Who's up to no good. Lack of a better term. GuMiho. Shenanigans. Kicking things out. He says, I don't want to play on this map because I don't know how to pronounce it either. And I go, thanks, GuMiho. Much appreciated. It's going to be a 2 racks, ladies and gents. How will the champion prepare? Will the champion even know? Scouting has been a little less than minimal. We've made it almost to the natural. Immediate block. Blocking that wall off. Unfortunately, Reapers don't usually care about wall offs. This employee entrance, that's what they're looking at. That's what they're hoping for. It is going to be double Reaper. Will there be a follow-up? Depot back at home? Will a command center be made? All of these important questions. Factory's going to be made a little closer to the CC, a little closer to that employee entrance too. Wow. The placement on that GuMiho. Like, wow. Checks the watchtower and comes back? Really? Ah, well, GuMiho's in the main base, that's why. GuMiho jumping up into the main base here. The Reaper going to start to dance. Employee entrance will be used. The SCVs pulled for our champion, who's still alive for now. And with a factory, Hellions on the way. CC on the low ground. Looking at that like a little bit of an ambitious choice. GuMiho drops one, Reaper takes one. Just the same though. Grenade. Oh, the SCVs getting guided around in peril. The Hellion does come out. Do you engage? I don't know. 3 Reapers can still take a Hellion. I see a Cyclone on the way as well. And that Cyclone no longer needing a tech lab means you can get it out just a little bit quicker. A little bit more helpful, able to shut down these shenanigans, we think. GuMiho may force a cancel on this command center, actually. Oliveira gonna be set back a bit. Restarts it on the high ground. And GuMiho, feeling a little victorious with that, says, alright, I don't need to do anything else. I'm gonna call that a win. My CC's on the low ground. Yours is not. Cyclone does not auto-lock on to buildings. If you want, though, you can just manually lock on, guys, if you still want to have the move while firing, fire while moving benefit there. You can. There you go. Manually targets that barracks. Also gives the longer range, too. Very helpful. Will start to burn down. The second barracks is going to float its way home. And things settle for a brief moment. We'll watch GuMiho's Reaper crew here as they examine the nearby gold minerals. Is there a geologist in this team? In this crew? Take a sample back for the base? Maybe. Third CC gonna be made for GuMiho's. Going for a little quicker of a third expansion. That barracks is definitely going to burn down. And Oliveira, not okay. Gonna say, if you're not gonna make it an orbital, at least float it down. Both players going for Ravens. Only one interference matrix being researched though. GuMiho No interference matrix yet. Although investing in that third CC a bit quicker, that's where the advantage, maybe that's what GuMiho's hoping to get as an advantage. Reapers. Of course it was Reapers. Cyclones easily taking care of that, though. Losing quite a few units in the process, though. Not wanting to sacrifice just the Cyclones. Reaper's gonna take out the Hellion, take out the other Reapers. At least now Oliveira knows those Reapers aren't just sitting outside the base waiting to come in, though. GuMiho just started Interference Matrix and then canceled it. Which is, you know, a choice. An intriguing choice, so maybe something interfered with it. Can interference matrix be interfered with? Possibly. Reaper for Oliveira, gonna jump up into the main base here. Start to, not get much done. Just scouts the Raven, scouts the Cyclone, I suppose. Now we see. GuMiho does not want interference matrix. Perhaps trying to fake it. If you see a Raven, see with the tech lab, maybe you think, oh god, he's getting Ravens too? GuMiho, other plans though. Both of them just setting up macro scans somewhere. GuMiho scan. Oliveira needs a return scan now. As you know, the scan wars. No scan can go uncontested. Was this the Ravens for GuMiho? Without going for interference matrix, that should tell you GuMiho's interest here is auto turrets. Hoping to get a little bit of damage done, perhaps. Go for some workers. Total workers killed is in favor of GuMiho. And there's no missile turrets, so definitely a possibility here. The Cyclones. Oliveira, greater than 0 Cyclones, too. Gonna be a little out of position, potentially, for this attack, though. And at the same time, GuMiho's moving 4 tanks across the map. Like, just the tanks. Interesting. What is this? It kills 1 Marine and then just leaves. Perhaps trying to bait Oliveira away? GuMiho, what are you up to? Oliveira's gonna land that third base, a little bit behind GuMiho's, of course, to be expected, with GuMiho going for that earlier CC. The Ravens haven't done anything yet. Waiting for a prime opportunity, perhaps. GuMiho's moving out on the map now. Where'd the tanks go, though? The tanks went home. Now it's the Marines' turn. Okay, GuMiho, you can combine forces here. They don't have to be all separate. These Marines are gonna have a tough time getting away from the Cyclones. The Ravens are on the move. I see auto turret in the natural. No reaction yet. No pull of SCVs. Oliveira says, I'm just gonna take my losses. Get done what I can. More in the main base. These will actually be evacuated into more auto turrets, though. Interferences across the board. Oliveira sacks the Ravens to try and get up the ramp. The boys will be pulled for GuMiho. Oliveira pulling some forces back. Those interferences are going to wear off. And I don't think Oliveira's making it up the ramp here. More auto turrets. GuMiho, these Ravens getting work done. 12 kills on one, 14, 10 on another. 24 total kills between these two. Most of it workers, too. That's going to set Oliveira back, who is looking to do a bit of a desperate drop into the main base. There's Marines already in position, though. He's going to drop within range of GuMiho's siege tank, which is just not at all helpful here. Oliveira needs to get out of there. The medevac is going to escape, is going to fly home, but you're flying home to a lot less SCVs than you left. And GuMiho's Ravens are still here. They're still active. GuMiho target fires down 3 more SCVs and is going to start to move across the map, which may just be a flat-out kill move at this point. Couple Liberators on the way. I think that's a good start. GuMiho does not have any Vikings. However, I don't think he's planning to give Oliveira the opportunity. GG is going to be called. GuMiho takes map number 1. Strong aggressive opening into some very successful Raven harassment. Who needs interference matrix? How about 20 dead workers? That'll interfere with you. Onwards to map number 2. For map number 2, we find ourselves on hard lead. The blue Terran here in the upper left taking game number 1 rather strongly, rather decisively. It is GuMiho. And the red Terran falling just a little bit short of victory in map number 1. He needs some help. Can he take it back? It is Oliveira. Aaron music ensues. Excitement builds. A TVT on a much more easily pronounceable map. Makes me a winner. Makes me happy. Barracks in their own base though. How dare they? Don't they know it's TVT? And they actually didn't quit right as you loaded into the game? You know what I'm talking about. You get into the match, you say, you start typing GLHF, and they just leave. They just quit. It's a mirror match. If they don't, that's usually because they're building their barracks next to your base, getting ready for that proxy business. These two, not up for it though. Apparently, Oliveira's actually going to scout this time though. So fool me once. Fool me twice. Yes, indeed. I will scout this game. What is this skin? It's got blue flames on the back of it, but it's not the Tirador. Is this the Emotion? Is that what this is? I don't think I actually have the Emotion. I'm a special forces or a Tirador kind of guy. I like that blue flame that comes out of that Tirador Reaper and Viking. Oh yeah. Very nice. Focus, Indigos. They're making factories, guys. Very good. Factories on the way. Will it be for Cyclones? Will it be for Hellions? A stray Thor, perhaps. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? There is a Thor somewhere on this map, though. I do know there is somewhere. GuMiho's harassing that SCV a little bit. Unfortunately, going to take a hit on the Reaper, which means now there's no committing to the attack unless the SCV is pulled from the command center to get involved with combat here. Oliveira gets the hit. Can he finish it off? No. Second Reaper's going to come out. The dance that we all know and love, the TVT dance. Cyclone on the way for GuMiho, who is opting to skip that Hellion. I like the choice. Get the Cyclone out as quick as possible. Shut down some shenanigans. It's going to be a single Hellion for Oliveira, who then gets the Cyclone. Big difference. Did Reaper die? No. Where'd Oliveira's Reaper go? Oh, just back home. Okay. Of course. Nothing else to worry about other than the employee entrance. GuMiho's gonna jump up into it, start to scratch the paint on the depot. Reaper Hellion gonna respond. Oh, Oliveira, he gets one. Losing the Reaper. First kill, first blood goes to the red Terran in the map. Any other divergences? Wait, have Cyclone? Yeah, one of them finished. There it is. Blends into the depot, actually. So, multiple Cyclones for Oliveira. GuMiho opting to go into the siege tanks behind this. And a medevac. Uh-oh. Is it a tank drop? Is it a Cyclone tank drop? Tank drop builds, I have heard of a slight resurgence of them. Not as scary as the ones in Wings of Liberty. The don't know what is on the it's like got a hat. It's like a construction hat over where the pilot sits. Well, both of them are going to send medevacs out around the same time. Scout's going to be met at the watchtower. Oliveira, the first to drop in the main base. This is not a tank, though. This is a cyclone drop. Siege tank going to help with the defense. GuMiho drops. Also a cyclone. Yes, why would we get siege tanks and medevacs if we're not going to do a tank drop? Because cyclones are out, Indigos, and they're so cool. They're so fun. They have the lock on. It lets them just shoot while moving. It shoots up, it shoots down, it shoots while moving. How can you not love it? Who doesn't want that? Used to be just whatever shoots up and shoots down was fun. This one can shoot while moving, though. Grenades do a bit of damage. Cyclone lock onto the medevac is going to get the medevac. Another nice pickup for the Red Terran here. Resources lost in favor. Couple tanks moving across the map, though. GuMiho might be looking to set up shop here. Oliveira, yeah, not quite on an attack command. The siege tank, only one of them gonna set up, and an interference matrix from the Raven gonna shut that down. Auto turret goes down. Quickly picked off. Not enough Marines, actually. GuMiho's tanks are still going to live. Oliveira does get one set up. It's like, I feel like you just pick up and go home, but I don't think GuMiho is quite ready to do that. We're picking up, but we're not going home. We are staying out tonight. Siege tanks drop into Oliveira's base, set up shop. One of them does. 2 and 3 gonna siege mode as well now. That depot, very unfortunately placed. One of the tanks gonna start to pick off, be destroyed. Ravens flying overhead, cancels the racks. Workers not quite in danger. GuMiho seems to be focusing down the add-ons here. Oh, a tense moment. The Vikings come out, which should be able to get the medevacs away. Unfortunate timing. Marines in the natural also. Well, Marines are also in the natural for the Red Terran, so... Ooh, starport has to be lifted. Prevent it from burning down. GuMiho does have that third base landed on the other side. He's not all in, it feels. Interference matrices. Not a whole lot to really clean it up, though. It's up to the siege tank. Oh, the scan wars. I think GuMiho wins that tank war. Both of Oliveira's tanks going to be shot down, but the Vikings land on deck and will eventually clean everything up. Messy, guys. Messy TVT. GuMiho's ambitious tank drop. Getting some damage done, though. Resources lost. How we looking? Oliveira's still ahead. How's the breakdown of that, though? Nobody's really lost that many workers. GuMiho's kind of throwing away a lot of siege tanks, though. I love your gumption, SCV, trying to repair that orbital as it flies away, but maybe not the best time. Siege tank fire and all. GuMiho not done yet. Is he perhaps throwing away too much, though? The Vikings even going to spot the medevacs over here? Going to start to deny the drops. If Oliveira can stabilize, that would certainly help. GuMiho is slightly up on workers. Not so far ahead, though, that like it's game ending, game crushing. Like, oh my gosh, you're so far behind. No, he's three workers behind, and barely at that. What's the Viking count? Well, GuMiho's Vikings are less than existent. Well, interference matrices from Oliveira. The siege tank's going to set up on the high ground, start to pick all of that off. There's not enough Marines to really push down, though. It's enough for Oliveira, though. GuMiho going to lose all of those tanks in the middle of the map again. which means Oliveira can just keep on trucking. Getting closer to the third base. What's GuMiho's defense going to be? Marines, the boys are pulled. The SCVs to the front line. Siege tanks set up, focusing down the other tank. The SCVs starting to try and pick off anything. They can't break through the medevacs healing, though. They're all going to be destroyed, and GuMiho is the one to tap out for map number 2, which means it's a series. Onwards now to the grand finale, map number 3 between these two. For the grand finale, we find ourselves on the lovely underwater map, Oceanborn. The blue Terran here, showing strength in game number 1, perhaps extending a bit too far in map number 2, though it is GuMiho. And likewise the red Terran, the opponent, the champion, showing strength and tenacity in map number 2. It is Oliveira. Let's see where the barracks go. Alright. Everything's fine, guys. Hydration alert. Take a drink. Stay hydrated, guys. TVT can get messy. It can get long, even. I don't think any of the games, either of the games so far, have been long. They're about, what, 10 minutes apiece? GuMiho, though. Map number 2. Honestly, it felt like GuMiho was excited from the tank drop. got a bit of damage done, and then committed just a bit too far. No Vikings, no real Raven presence, just trying to leverage it with Marine tank medevac. Like, yes, it can work. We all know it can work, it can be done. That doesn't mean it really should be done, though. GuMiho's gonna start that CC just a bit quicker on the low ground. Oliveira opting for the factory a little bit quicker. I like Oliveira's opener, personally. I would recommend it just from a safety point of view. TVT, there's proxies. There's a lot of quick attacks that can come out. There's plenty of people, as I said, that don't really want to play TVT. They don't really want to get into a macro TVT. So there's plenty of weird and aggressive openers that can come out. GuMiho getting a bunker on the low ground. Why does it feel like it's the first bunker I've noticed in the series? Oliveira's Reaper gonna jump up. I like the pistols. You can actually see the pistols. Marine for GuMiho. Follow-up, though. Not gonna get the Reaper, though. Just barely. Reaper might start to corner himself a little bit here. Marines. Oh, jumps up into the main base. The dance. The follow-up. Oh, the grenade bounce. Nets an SCV for Oliveira. Oh, second Reaper. Looks like it just got a Marine. Did I kill a Marine? Yeah. GuMiho taking a couple of losses here in the very early stage of the game. The Marine, quicker Marine opener though. And a bunker on the low ground. Oliveira might be feeling confident to try and run past the bunker with the heli in here. Cyclone for GuMiho. No Cyclone for Oliveira, though. As I said, I might be feeling confident. Thinking, well, GuMiho's not going for a very aggressive opener here. It's up to GuMiho to get the Cyclone and play a little more defensively. Oliveira just walks out. Gonna lose the heli and on the way, though. Cyclone, solid for the defense. And how we looking over here now? Ravens, Cyclones, Oliveira looking to play consistently, I would say. And consistency is a huge thing for StarCraft. You want to make sure you're in habits, patterns, quick third CC. Not for GuMiho, though. GuMiho, it's a 2-Rax. Yeah. So Oliveira, 1-1-1 quick third. Reaper, going to be denied a lot of scouting here. I don't even think GuMiho saw. Well, okay, sees the CC here, which is a really good enough tell. Knowing that that is very likely the third command center, always a win, always helpful. Engineering bay, quick stim, interference matrix again from Oliveira, which has been proving mostly helpful. I would say for the most part it's been helpful. Being able to shut down the siege tanks. Oliveira is playing a much more, I want to call it a textbook TVT. Getting the Ravens, getting the interference, switching everything over. Vikings, I expect to see stim coming out now. GuMiho though, what? That was a very well timed scan, I'd say. So this is essentially a 2-1-1. Like, wow, good job, Indigos. There was 2 barracks. Yeah, I know, right? I get paid for this. Isn't that fun? So 2-1-1 coming out for GuMiho. Stim just about to finish up. No shields, no +1. It's just gonna be some Marines. Shields does start up. +1 about halfway. I don't think you wait though. Oh, and GuMiho might be expecting the 3rd CC to be landed already, which it's not. Oliveira correct in holding on to that for a minute while GuMiho's doing, you know, whatever GuMiho is gonna do. Stimming a few Marines, walk up, hit that Reaper like a bad hangover. No idea what hit him. Siege tank in the natural though is gonna pretty much keep this locked down. I don't expect GuMiho to actually get some real damage, some game-winning play here. Oliveira locked down pretty tight. Siege tank, can you get out? Do you need help? CC was blocking the siege tank, so well, no better time to land that command center, I suppose. Siege tank's gonna set up defensively again. Good posturing, good perimeter setup, and the Viking count is building. GuMiho actually cares about Vikings this game though. A lot of medevacs over here on the left. Gonna be spotted by that Reaper. Tank drop slightly denied the Vikings. Might be able to keep this away. Not if GuMiho has anything to say about it. GuMiho going for a doom drop. Almost the first attack. Doom drop, huh? Just highly committed. The natural doesn't have a whole lot here. It's 1 tank, 1 turret in progress. Gonna carpet drop everything out here, focus down that siege tank. GuMiho's tank's gonna start to set up shop, and the Marines stim could actually gun down the command center possibly. Interference comes out from those Ravens, which means those tanks not going to get much done. The Marines left to fend for themselves. Medevacs go. What do you get out? He saved both of the tanks actually, switching them into tank mode right before the interference matrix hit, which means they could be picked up and safely rescued, which means 0 tanks lost, which is a win, I would say. If you're gonna get something out in a TVT, getting out those siege tanks from that attack was a good idea. And Oliveira, he lost the 1 tank, also lost 10 SCVs in that attack, so definitely not nothing. GuMiho did get a little bit done there. How will he press the advantage now? Do you try and go for the 3rd base? I see the commitment to Vikings ended past the single digit of 2. GuMiho wanted those defensive Vikings. Make sure you don't sneak up on me, Vikings. Yes, that's about it. GuMiho instead gonna opt for mostly Marine tank, which means this Liberator, okay. Yeah, Liberator sets up, Vikings gonna set up in the middle, which gives Oliveira a little bit of an advantage. With no Vikings, no Raven, and no Liberators, Like, what's your goal here, GuMiho? You're gonna just try and blunt force your way through this? Double drop from Oliveira goes out. How much damage will it find? More barracks on the way for GuMiho, who looks like he's thinking about going up this ramp. The siege tank's set up here, my man. Oh, GuMiho knows about these medevacs. The Viking gonna spot it. Start to drop it. Just a couple Marines. Goes for the third base. Is there a tank? There's no siege tank here, which means Oliveira is going to be able to drop all of these Marines and start to pick off a few SCVs. They will be surrounded. Halt the progress, halt the construction on these barracks just a little bit, until eventually all of the forces will be cleaned up. He halted the progress on just one of the barracks. Very nice. Okay, workers killed. Yeah, GuMiho lost some workers in there. Oliveira fighting back. We've reached the 10-minute mark and nobody's dead. Macro TVT time. Anger at those rocks. Those rocks. Toast. Now, how'd you turn rocks into toast? GuMiho. It's a statement. It works. Scouting Marines for Oliveira. Going to successfully complete their mission. Go out and find the enemy. Very good. Siege tank count, how we looking? GuMiho's up 2. 9 to 7. Still uncaring about the Vikings, though. GuMiho just says, I'm gonna get this done with Marines and tanks, or I'm gonna die trying. Sensor tower picked off. The Vikings should be able to hold the high ground. It's over. GuMiho can Skywalker. No, that was bad. Will not follow through on that one. Decent amount of tanks. 8 to 10. I like that Oliveira has essentially stopped the Viking production. Got to 7 and said, wait, my opponent's not making Vikings, which means I don't need to commit heavily. As you get into that mindset, that textbook TVT, you might start to think, oh, I need more Vikings in case I need air control. But dude, you have air control. You have 7 Vikings. Siege tank's gonna set up, Marines stemming forward. It's an absolute slaughter. GuMiho's tanks are set up now. Oh my god, the amount of blood. The carnage GuMiho sets up just outside the base. We'll be able to push a little bit more forward. The Liberator's gonna set up, which makes this a bit difficult for GuMiho, actually. Marines stemming forward. Will they be able to get it? No, they will not. The Liberators will survive. The 2 Vikings for GuMiho hauled to the front. Ambitious, to say the least. Oliveira's going to survive. It's a hold, albeit a barely one. GuMiho really hates rocks, huh? Not quite an Earth-aligned individual here. No, not at all. Why? Why so mad at the rocks? Is it really just to move different groups around easier? Or is there something else going on here? Who hurt you? GuMiho. Breaking news, attacked by an earthbender once upon a time. Siege tank's gonna try and set up at the bottom of the ramp. Difficult to come up here. The Liberator's gonna set up overhead, which leaves the left side exposed. Oliveira, not enough Liberators to go around. The siege tanks will be able to cancel or destroy this base yet again. That group on the right getting out of dodge. Oh, GuMiho's not focusing down the command center. The carpet bomb of Marines. Going to clean up all of those tanks. Job's finished, sir. Are you sure? Marines in the middle of the map, going to be met with Marines in the middle of the map. It looks like GuMiho coming out on top and killing off the Vikings. Now you have to decide, do I make more? Looks like Oliveira is going to make more. Trying to repair the command center. Trying to repair that command center as it flies. Can't imagine that's a fun activity. That's a fun job. 3-3? Almost. We got one of them for GuMiho. GuMiho, I think, needs to be a little careful not to overextend. No, not to push himself so far into Oliveira's territory that it's like overstaying your welcome. Marine count is in favor of GuMiho though, as well as the upgrades. That +3 attack coming in handy. The command center will be destroyed actually. Fights on multiple fronts here. Left side's looking better for Oliveira. Right side will eventually be cleaned up. The siege tanks should prevent GuMiho from going any further. Liberators help too, actually. Oh. I didn't bring enough water for this TVT. Marine's gonna clear out that Liberator. The siege tank's still going strong though. No more Ravens. No, we have one Viking. This one, the last Viking. Siege tanks for GuMiho doing a great job at denying this base though. Is this the main? Oh lord, that's the main base. Yeah, I don't think I'd land that just yet. Looks like a few Marines picked off. GuMiho controlling the middle of the map, which means able to rotate around, try and split things off. Sensor towers coming in handy though. Even if they are a little close together, the Venn dia scan here. GuMiho. Siege tanks set up, gonna start to clear the Marines on the left side. Oliveira has to pivot, reposition. Tanks will be set up and focusing down GuMiho's tanks means Oliveira should still hold this ground. GuMiho's going to need something to break this. Is it Vikings? Is it Liberators? It looks like we're trying out one Marauder. Yes. Mike, the hero Marauder. Can he do it? Can Mike save us from this Marauderless existence? Yes, so far so good. Oliveira, careful, careful. Going out into the siege tank infested waters, dropping the Marines on top of the tank, should be able to pick off the Liberator as well. GuMiho is going to focus it. Try and get out. Yes, pick up in the medevac. We'll get out of there. Oliveira having to juggle a lot. Down in supply, though, is this Red Terran. Things are getting difficult. GuMiho. Essentially 6 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I can count. 6 bases to the 5 of Oliveira. And even then, not really. Tanks debating. Oh lord. No, put him down. Put that down. Thank you. GuMiho opting to charge the left side. It's just siege tanks, essentially. A lot of Marines from the high ground gonna help out, though. Too much for Oliveira. GuMiho not finding an opening just yet. So what do? You can't break them with Marine tank, or at least not yet. What's the play? You have to jump up somewhere. You have to try and get something. Where's my Marauder? Oh, looks like he's here. He's got a friend, too. Oh, there's 3 of them. Oh. Oh, my. Oliveira confident enough to push into the middle of the map. Try and take a bit of map control back. This might just force GuMiho's hand in going for the now relatively exposed left base here. I don't know if I like this move from Oliveira. 13 siege tanks, though. Beautiful setup. Unfortunately, a magnificent concave from GuMiho is going to put an end to these shenanigans. The ground forces are cleared. GuMiho up 20 supply for army now. Upgrades. Ooh, Oliveira's got +3 for the tanks. Definitely helpful, but also might be slightly overkill. Hey, more Vikings from GuMiho, really? What prompted that? Scans everywhere. Scan happy. X-ray field today. Tanks. Nice pickup from GuMiho, just barely getting them out of there, barely saving that. Oliveira, don't know about throwing away more Marines to get a planetary. GuMiho's on the hunt too. He sees the Medivacs. He's gonna try and cut them off, possibly. There's a missile turret here. Gonna get the jump on the Marines, focusing down the Medivacs, which means all of these Marines are gonna be destroyed. Good job. What? The missile turret came in handy. GuMiho? What? What was that? I have no words. The missile turret helped out. It actually shot the Medivacs. GuMiho says your work is done, missile turret. Siege tank's gonna set up on the high ground, supply still in favor of the Blue Terran, who's looking to be in a strong position, possibly taking the game here. A bit of a desperation move from Oliveira, this feels. Marine's gonna head out. There's just way too much for GuMiho though. With these Marines, they start to run command center flying around. There's a decent amount of tanks here, but Oliveira's not making much progress, not much headway. And how long before GuMiho builds something that rhymes with battle cruiser? Oh, there's even Vikings here now. Oliveira sees GuMiho's Vikings and says, "Oh, you unlocked Viking tech. I'm out. Peace." GG is called. GuMiho is the victor of the series. Explosive finale. I think the only words I have is rest in peace, missile turret driver. What do you want to call it? What do we call the guy in the missile turret? Missile turret operator? Rest in peace, missile turret operator. A moment of silence. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please do let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day.